Here we are at the Mammoth Site, and you can see the classic mammoth bones behind me. And although that's a unique story in its own, part of what we want to do is determine the environment and the climate at the time the mammoths were roaming around the Mammoth Site sinkhole and actually being entombed into the pond. To do this, we really need to look at what the micro-fauna, in other words, the small animals that lived at the same time and may have been captured in the same sinkhole. So we're looking for things like salamanders, lizards, snakes, birds, whether large birds or small birds, rodents, rabbits. All these things are identifiable, but you don't see them as easily as we can see bones of the mammoth and the camel. So to do this, we take the sediments from around the mammoth bones and screen wash them, and little by little recover the bones. What Sandy Swift is doing here is screen washing. A number of the things that we find at a variety of sites include the microfauna, and these are small bits of bone from very small critters such as the salamander, lizards, snakes, rodents, bats, shrews. All these are important because they tell us a lot about the environment. At the time that the mammoths and extinct forms of camel and horses were wandering around the Mammoth Site and here in the Black Hills. So just as important of the megafauna would be these small animals that really help us reconstruct the climate, the temperature, the precipitation, and seasons.
Might as well.
So here she's sorting out bone from the matrix. This matrix was washed outside and dried, gets rid of the silt and the clay and the sand, and now it's a process of separating out the bone that again you won't see unless you have microscopes. This type of lab, to be really functional and sustainable in our research, we're in the need of at least 5 or 6 of these microscopes, possibly 10 if we're going to do a lot of teaching. One of the microscopes should have the ability to actually take photographs, digital photographs through the lens. And we again borrowed one of those to make it work this summer. In addition, we need a few good tables that don't jiggle when you put your arms on them. So a sturdy desk and some good chairs that allow different height people to sit there, because this will be going on for about 8 hours to 10 hours a day, and we need adequate equipment for that.
Oh, cool, Jim. We just have a lizard jaw.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty rare.
Lots and lots of teeth.
Oh, good. Yeah, lizards are pretty rare to be found, so getting a lizard would be wonderful. We do get snakes, usually rattlesnakes is what you've been finding, but getting a lizard would be pretty good. Only 2 species live here today. It's fortunate that we have these microscopes that we brought with us from East Tennessee State University. The Mammoth Site doesn't really have these. We definitely need probably in the neighborhood of 5 to 10, especially as we move into the realm of teaching local volunteers how to sort and identify. So by developing this lab here and equipping it so that we can really make an education aspect to whether it's kids or the older volunteers, this is how we can make this a really suitable lab. Please help us raise $20,000 to help create and outfit our new science lab here at the Hot Springs Mammoth Site.